Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sentinel Sports Extra High School Sports Showdown. I am one of the co-hosts, Tim Shirer, and my other co-host is Joey Schneider.
Back again.
We have a couple guests with us tonight. First, we have Tim Shirer. He's on the screen with us. He covers some games for us each year. This is our first show. We'll be on every week during the school year through the end of the school year. We're going to do winter and spring sports too. I also want to welcome Mars Porcello, Wycliffe Blue Devils head coach. Hello, Mars.
Hi, everybody.
What's going on, Mars?
Hey.
So, Joey, why don't you let everyone know who's sponsoring us? And
well, we've had this sponsor for a while now, and they wanted to sponsor the football season. So, newest sponsor is Comic Heaven in Willoughby. If you've never been there, absolutely phenomenal place to go for comics, manga, anything superhero related. They got collectibles, just everything you could possibly think of. Tens of thousands of comics in store, millions of comics in storage. Make sure you stop by and see them if you like that. I know I do. My daughter does. You can stop by at 4847 Robin Hood Drive in Willoughby, or you can give them a call at 942-6960.
All right. Thanks to them. Like I said, I want to welcome our guests, Tim Shirer and Wycliffe head coach, Mars Porcello. We're going to reveal our first Sentinel 7 of the year a little later. I'm going to go over the schedule, and then we're going to ask Mars some questions. So some things one of the things I'm curious about as far as scheduling, and it'll be interesting to hear, like, if there's a reason for it or not. But let's get to the schedule. First week of games of Lake County schools. The Willoughby South Rebels are at Cuyahoga Falls. They'll play the Black Tigers. East Lake North is at North Olmsted. They'll play the Eagles. Berkshire at Painesville Harvey, the new look Red Raiders. The Taft Senators are at Kirtland. Riverside is at Steubenville. Lake Catholic travels to Cardinal Mooney. And those are the games that we will not be covering. The three games we will be covering is, I've always wanted to say this as a reporter, and I'm going to get to say it because they say it on the national news all the time. I will be traveling to Bradford, Ohio. I will be embedded with the Wycliffe Blue Devil football team as they take on the Bradford Railroaders. Joey.
It's a good name.
Yeah, that's a good name, isn't it? Joey will be at Madison as the Blue Streaks take on the Perry Pirates. And Ken Krisner will be at Mentor as the Cardinals take on the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. Tommy, are you going to be going to a game this week or no?
No, I'm not.
No. So we'll have three games covered. And Fairport does not have a game this week, the Skippers, because College Hill or North College Hill backed out of their game.
Where even is that?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure where that is.
They were, oh my God.
I mean, they've gone to West Virginia for games before. So.
I think it's down near Cincinnati.
Okay.
Cincinnati?
That makes sense, yeah.
So that leads me to my first question for Mars. Why is this happening? It seems like it's happening a lot more now where games get canceled, and they get canceled very late by schools. Like I know with you guys, this Bradford game was not originally on the schedule. You were supposed to play Oberlin. They didn't have enough kids to field a team. To me, this never happened before. And now I think, honestly, since COVID, it seems like it happens a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it is happening a lot more than it used to, but I think some of it is, at least for myself, we live in that small school kind of realm, and so our schedule is we're playing a lot of D6 and D7 schools, and it's just numbers are down everywhere, and if you end up with 10, 11 guys, it's just they're not trying to play their season anymore. So kind of stinks for us. We played Oberlin last year. They had pretty decent numbers last year.
They did.
And we were told all summer that they were going to be fine. And then we heard, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. Was it last week? It wasn't too long ago that they weren't going to field the team. So,
yeah, they had quite a few players last year. I remember covering that game. You guys have how many? Is it 33 or 36?
I think we're at 38, actually.
38. I counted it this morning on the app, but
he's bad at math, so
that's
it's
how
all
good
right.
my memory is. So basic math all through high school. So another question, just tell us a little bit about the team, Mars.
Well, we return a lot of guys. We're starting out of the 22 positions. We're starting no sophomores or freshmen. So we're pretty experienced team. We return a lot of guys on both sides of the ball, especially on offense. Our offensive line, 4 of the 5 offensive linemen are returning players from last year. Our quarterback is returning, and then a lot of our running back / receiverish guys are returning on offense. So, and then defensively, a lot of our front 7. I think we returned 5 of the front 7 on defense as well. So, pretty experienced team this year, and guys that have been very battle tested last year through a very tough schedule, and then making the playoffs as well. So.
I think, isn't that what we've learned through the years? Well, at least I think I have. And I know the 2020 Wycliffe team, when your lines are good, it gives you a really good shot at being really good.
Yeah, we've always had, we've always seemed to have pretty good running backs come through our program as well. But, it does start up front. I know a lot of coaches say that, but we really emphasize our offensive linemen. We make them feel really good, to be offensive linemen for us. And quite honestly, we're not using huge offensive guys or huge offensive linemen. Some of these guys are like our right guard. I think he's maybe 190, so we're not using big guys. We're using smaller guys, and they kind of buy into playing offensive line for us.
Well, I can tell you from experience.
Dom Porcello, your son is the.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Dom is the quarterback, right? Your son,
yes,
Porcello?
Yes, he is. Yep. Yeah, he is our quarterback.
He's a junior. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Joey?
Oh, I just want to say, I can tell you from experience, you get your offensive and defensive linemen jacked up, you're having a good season.
Yeah. Those guys buy into it, and they love it. Like we try to play a physical brand of football, and guys have bought into it for a lot of years here. So
that that what was that 2020 when you guys made the regional run? Was that what that was?
Yeah, 2020.
Most of those guys weren't very big. You had some.
There was.
They were strong,
tough kids. Yeah, they were strong kids. But like when we played that Norwayne game at Euclid, Norwayne averaged 275 across both their lines, and I think we averaged 195 maybe. And so, and then we were handling them pretty decently up front, I'd say. So.
Yeah, I was on the sidelines that game. I thought, I have a video somewhere on my phone of Mason Balla fumble that he's laying on the ground before he loses it.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well, we ended up turning it over, I think, 4 times in that game, which
yeah,
is
yeah,
pretty unlike us. So
yeah.
But what? Tell me a little about this Bradford. Do you know anything about them, or how did it come about that you ended up playing Bradford?
right. So once I got confirmation that Oberlin had canceled their season, we had a week 3 bye, and so I looked at Oberlin's schedule and I found a team called Toledo Woodward. They were playing Oberlin week 3, so I actually booked the week 3 game before I booked the week 1 game.
Okay.
And then for, I would say, over a week, I was pretty sure we were going to play Steubenville Central Catholic. So you might be familiar with them. They've played Fairport the last couple of years.
That's right.
Yep.
They did. We were at that
And
playoff game.
yeah, and they're a that would have been a pretty good game for us. I mean, they're a physical football team. They like to run the ball. And then, I thought the game was booked and they backed out. They didn't want to play us. They decided to play somebody else. And so then I went back into scrambling, and I found out just through some people on just social media that this Bradford team was supposed to play a team called Jefferson Township, and that Jefferson Township was going to 8-man football. And so I reached out to Bradford, their AD, and he did say, yes, that is a possibility. I'll find out tomorrow. And we found out the next day that they were open. It took a couple days for them to decide to play us, but they did decide to play us.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's I think a lot of people wonder how it comes about when the schedule's set and all of a sudden something happens.
Right. I think we're
we
besides
stopped
for North College Hill, I think we're the only 2 teams in the state that didn't have a game week 1, and Fairport. I'm sorry, but Fairport chose not to play week 1. So
Yeah, I just heard something from somebody that they're. I mean, they only have 14 guys, but I just saw that they had 2. Somebody told me, I forget who it was. They have 2 guys that got hurt at practice this week.
yeah, I heard the same thing. We were trying. I was trying to flip that week 8 game because we play in week 8. I was trying to see if they would play us week 1 and then kind of try to scramble for week 8, but it didn't. It didn't pan out. So.
Well, yeah, and it sucked. It would have sucked for. I mean, it does suck for a team to only have nine games too, because playoff points, stuff like that, points to get in the playoffs. But
yeah, and I mean the bottom line too is like in football you only get 10, so guaranteed, and it's like I don't want to do that to the seniors. They deserve to play 10 games. So
Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking of earlier when I was thinking of talking about this subject. It's different in every other sport in high school.
Yep.
Basketball, baseball, soccer, you can schedule other games without a problem. But football, it's just not possible usually.
Well, you play once a week only, so you're pretty limited to the opportunities.
Yeah.
So
now it's time for the we're going to reveal the do you have any questions? I'm sorry, Joey, do you have any questions from ours?
I had just kind of 2 quick questions. One is, it seems like you have very good skill players year in and year out. Can you just talk about how you seem to constantly be very strong at the skill positions and the kids, and how much do they work at that?
Yeah, I think the main thing for us is we have a system in place, and that system, in my opinion, fits the type of kids that we get at Wycliffe. And so our guys come up and we kind of fit our guys into the system that we run. But I think our system is pretty we can take a kid that weighs 175 pounds and make him a guard. And it just works for what we do. But these guys do work really hard at their craft, and we're starting in December, we're in the weight room and we're doing things with them to improve their speed and all that stuff. So I think it's a program, and it's a system that we've kind of developed, and the guys buy in, and we try to develop them over the years, and especially, once they come to us as freshmen, that's another thing is, for the size school we are, having close to 40 guys, it's pretty good numbers, I would say.
Yeah.
And we coach the freshmen, we coach sophomores. I'm out there, all summer. Coach Sharp, who's my defense coordinator, and myself, we're out there coaching the freshmen and sophomores, and they're getting attention from us. And so I think over the years, they just developed those skills, because we don't just throw them to our freshman coaches or whatever. They're getting coached by all of us. And so I think that makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last question was, and me and Tim were talking about this on Two Guys Talk Cleveland Sports last night. With just how big it seems to be becoming, just tell us a little, quickly, tell us a little bit about coaching the girls flag football.
Yeah, it's a blast. I just kind of jumped into it last year, and then, just I love it, honestly. It's a really good time, and the girls are very receptive to the coaching, and it's becoming a really popular sport, and it's awesome. My daughter's in 7th grade, and she's on a team now. We play on Sunday for our first 2 games, and it's just a really great opportunity for the girls too. So
that's
it's
awesome.
Really fast paced.
Yeah, and I think that's what the girls like about it. Like my daughter's a softball player, but it's a lot slower. And the football, I mean, it's fast paced, and you make a mistake, and you get another opportunity right away. So it's a fun game.
Real quick, does your brother coach your daughter?
Which my brother?
Softball.
That's softball.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
No, he doesn't. They're on different teams, but she's on a different team. Yeah. So
Is she a little bit older too, his daughter?
His daughter's a year older. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you see him, tell him congratulations on winning the championship again.
Okay. Yeah, I will for sure. I will.
So, so you mentioned the system you run, Mars. So Wycliffe is known for the offense, and you are going to run the air raid offense again this year, right?
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I think over the years, this might be the first year that I think we could probably throw the ball 70% of the time and be successful doing that. I'm not saying I'm going to do that, but
you have thrown it more over the last few years.
Yeah, we have a quarterback that has a good arm, good size, and he's been in my locker room since he could walk. So he understands the game. He knows what's in front of him and makes good decisions on the field. And so and we have the skill guys that can run and catch and all that. But yeah, I mean I always say this, and then it doesn't always happen, but I do think we can throw the ball more. I thought we threw it very effectively last year. It wasn't a ton, but it was very effective in some key moments. So
and that's what's important, that it's effective, right? You just don't want to throw.
Correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I was in high school, because I went to Wycliffe. Everybody knows that here, but anybody that's listening. You had one. I mean, I might be a little biased because he's, one of my best friends. But you had one of the best running backs I've ever seen in a high school uniform in this area, at least in Isaac Petway. But I mean, and I love Brad Dietrich too. But it made sense to run the ball then. I would say, yeah.
I mean, I think I think Isaac Petway is maybe the best to ever play at Wycliffe,
Yeah, I mean,
besides maybe Mike Phillip, who's going into the Hall of Fame next week, but
yeah,
Isaac was one of the best ever at Wycliffe.
Best part about him too was he was just Nick Chubb like almost.
Yeah, he had it all. He had the balance, he had the speed, he had the power.
Yeah.
So yeah,
personality wise, even too.
He was a tough kid, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't know.
Well, let's get to the Sentinel 7 now. We're going to reveal the Sentinel 7. We're going to reveal from 7 down to 1, and then we'll mention the 2 teams that fell just outside of the top 7. So at 7, we have Willoughby South. At 6, we have Wycliffe. At 5, we have Lake Catholic. At 4, we have Mentor. 3, we have Riverside. 2, we have Kirtland. And number 1, we have Perry. So, and the first 2 out are Madison and Eastlake North. But we also have, Joey and I came up with predictions for the records for the teams. They don't match the Sentinel 7, but we'll start from what our predictions for records for teams this year. And look, this first school, I really love them, but it's going to be tough when you're short on numbers. We have Fairport at 2-7. We have Painesville Harvey at 3-7. Eastlake North 5-5. Madison 6-4. Willoughby South 8-8.
8-8.
Holy, 8-8.
They're playing an NFL schedule.
Oh my God.
I was just going to say that.
I got an alert and looked away at oh my gosh. Yeah, 8-2. Yeah, they're going to let them play 6 extra games. But 8-2 Willoughby South. Lake Catholic 8-2. Mentor 9-1. Riverside 9-1. Kirtland 9-1. Perry 10-0. And Wycliffe 10-0. That's what we see. That's what we think is, going to happen. And we'll find out at the end of the year, how close we were.
They're going to be perfect.
Well,
I promise it.
But I want to thank everybody that watched tonight. And we will be here every Wednesday at 8:30. And like I said, we'll have coverage of 3 games this week. And I, as well as Joey, will do pre and post game reports before the games we're at. So like I said, I'll be at Bradford with Wycliffe. Joey will be
Madison and Perry.
Madison and Perry.
That's a good week 1 game, man.
Yeah, I think, and we're going to try to give the best coverage we can. But we probably won't have a lot of video from Wycliffe this week during the game. Probably, I'm thinking none. But we will, we'll have a pregame and a postgame report. But I hope everybody stays safe. And I want to thank Tommy and Mars for being here also.
For sure.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Appreciate it.
And we will see everyone next week. Have a good week, everybody.